Welcome to the Smiling Suffer podcast. On the mic, you have Corey Jos, Coriola, Corey Pepe. On my left, I have Black James Bond. Black James Bond. And on my right, we actually have some guest hosts here with us today. On my right, we have Onyade. She's been on the podcast before, but she was anonymous last time.
Hey guys.
Producer extraordinaire.
And we have another guest, one of my very, very good friends, Onyeko.
Hello.
Yeti couldn't make it today.
As always.
No.
No Yeti slander.
She lost her voice. She was busy singing Backstreet Boys in Vegas.
She wanted it that way.
That sounded wrong.
That's actually a pretty good song, though.
That's one of my favorite songs, though.
That's my jam. But yeah, man, it's been 2 weeks. Welcome back, guys. What you been up to, Wale, in the last 2 weeks? Any trouble?
Nah, I didn't go to Vegas.
You've been good,
I
mean.
I didn't go to Miami. I didn't go anywhere.
Did you go to bed?
Yes. Even though I woke up on the wrong side today, but it's all good.
Yeah. Well, last week I went to war in Miami, and that was actually fun. I had a blast.
Of course it was.
I had a blast. When you go, what you been up to?
Nothing, man.
Good.
I'm like a Miami. I'm going to Mexico next week.
Okay,
so.
sure. Can we get off
nice.
this?
Where are you going next week,
Me?
Wally?
Broccoli Fest.
Broccoli Fest.
Oh,
I
that's
was
nice.
hoping he had nothing.
Yeah, no, I have. That's the one I have something.
So what do you guys think about the Reminisce jam?
Like it, man. Reminisce has always been. I like the guy.
It's a Shaku song.
In it.
It kind of it feels like the killing then Sha.
I mean, it's produced by Sari, so
Yeah.
that's crazy. But I like Reminisce, man.
Reminisce is an underrated rapper, man. He's one of those underrated rappers.
The streets like him.
Yeah.
They respect him because he keeps the same. He's like he's been at the same pace, which is a good pace for him.
And he drops good albums.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he actually has. pretty
He's
good
just not
albums.
mainstream. Like Reminisce wouldn't do it. I mean, he might do a tour of the US, but it'll be like a club appearance.
Yeah,
kind of
most
thing.
likely.
It won't be like well, he's good.
Does he have any other hits? Like,
That's a lot.
Yeah, he
That's
has
a
a
lot.
few. He's been out.
Especially
you probably heard
if
him
we
before.
played a few back in. He had the one with Davido, my fellow Judadim.
Okay.
Yeah. He's had a few hits
Yeah.
in the past, and his child's name he has a funny name because the last album he named after it was like Baba Afusa. That was the first time I heard someone named Afusa.
Yeah, I think he's Muslim.
I think so too.
He's
Yeah.
always doing all these Muslim themes in his songs. So did anyone catch Coachella? The Coachella performances?
Yeah, I saw my
Online?
I saw Burner.
You watched it on Tidal?
Tidal. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you were one of those people that went to go and pay for Tidal.
There are only like 2 people that own Tidal.
That we know, right?
Jay-Z is one of them. Even him, I don't even think he has an account.
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
and then one guy, one other mysterious guy. Yeah, I saw it on YouTube. Has this thing with this partnership thing with YouTube Music with Coachella. And it was I saw Burners. I got to watch. So I was at I actually went to a wedding last weekend. But I was at a wedding last weekend, so I couldn't see Mr. Easy.
Oh, one of our League of Lords buddies.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up later on, Seth.
It was a very beautiful wedding. But I was there, so I couldn't see Easy's performance. But the next day, I saw Burner live.
Okay.
I like Burner's performance, but then I went back to watch Easy's, and I liked it better.
Really?
Did Easy have his own set? Or did
Yeah,
he
Easy had his own.
feature?
He had his own set. Easy had his set that he featured with Diplo, and
interesting.
yeah, Diplo had him come, sing. They have a few songs together, and like I was saying back in the day about like album covers and everything, Easy has a theme he goes with. This is Lagos to London theme, so he had that bus on stage. That's
yeah,
double
he did.
decker.
That's nice.
Old school British bus painted in like the Moloe colors, and he had like his DJs on the top deck, and he got the crowd more involved. Burner was more of I'm Burner, you should know who I am kind of thing, sing, like, and they knew but like his other songs, not everybody knew it.
I felt like the crowd was really hyped. Like I didn't.
They were
think
hyped.
there were gonna be a lot of
They
people
were
there,
hyped. They were,
like,
and
that knew
it
the
started.
songs.
It started slow, and like I saw comments online, and people saying, "Oh, it's not full," and like Nigerians need to chill, man. Like
It's not gonna be full.
it's first of all the time of the day he got a 4 p.m. set, but he got the main stage, and like they don't see that as a big deal, but it's a big deal.
It is.
I saw some ignorant people argue. Someone was even arguing that Davido performed at Dreamville Fest and it was full, and I'm like, fam, trust me, like Dreamville is not even a tenth of what Coachella is. You know, like as big as J. Cole is, like that's a bigger audience and bigger reach, because not only are you reaching your fans, you're reaching foreign fans, you're reaching foreign execs who watch this thing, A&Rs and everybody, and they're like, okay, who's this guy? So he did well. His performance was good, but Easy had the crowd involved. You know, he like jumped to the left. Everybody, you know, he's like, when I say this, you say that. So it was more of a interactive sets, and like I said, I like the prop on stage. You know, it's not just you and your dancers. You know, it's
clever.
So
I didn't like Burner's dancers, their outfits.
they didn't even know how to dance.
Like,
I can do better
What were
than
they
those
wearing?
girls.
It was like zebra.
Yeah, it was kind of.
too
It was too.
African,
Yeah, it was
like,
too
like-
cliche African.
Did you guys see Burna's outfit though?
I liked it.
I liked it.
People were clowning
It
it, but I liked
interesting.
it. I
I
liked
didn't
it.
watch. I didn't see
It had the
like
Burberry.
Burberry.
It looked
Yeah.
interesting, Sha. It looked very interesting.
It
It
had the
was,
Burberry.
but apparently it was some guy in Nigeria that made it for him, custom made.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
he
looked
was shouting it out.
Burberry. Oh,
Like Burberry Ashoka.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was good. It was
and then
good.
it had frills at the end.
Yeah, it was like a two-piece.
But I liked it because when he was dancing, it looked like you know those masquerades in Nigeria. That was what it reminded me of. You know those masquerades that have like different patches of. That was what it reminded me.
No, he did a good job. They both did good jobs, and I'm glad they both.
Yeah, they repping, man. Coachella,
And they
it's
both
a big
got
deal.
the main stage. I
Yes, that's a pretty big deal.
mean, I'm disappointed Wiz didn't go last year because he also got the main stage. You
So
know,
wasn't that the one that he flicked out on?
yeah,
It's okay. He'll be at Broccoli Fest.
I hope so.
He flicked out on another one at the Budweiser joint, the
Made in America.
Made in America one
yeah.
too.
But I think he saved face with that one
How?
because he ended up canceling every other show he had in the US.
Yeah,
And
he wasn't on the main stage on that one. Though.
No, and I think that was his problem.
Yeah, I think
His problem was that the rumor was that he was not happy that Tiwa had a bigger stage, but then Tiwa is this is all allegedly rumors, you know, but Tiwa is signed to Rock Nation,
Right,
so
yeah.
she had the stage every Rock Nation artist had, which was the second biggest stage. Which, in all fairness, if we're being realistic, Wiz should have had that stage instead of Tiwa. But I mean, you make do of what you have.
felt some type of way.
You know, Davido had the same stage, and as much as I'm not Team Whiskey, that's one thing Davido would not flake out on his show. Davido, if he tends to come and perform here, he will come and perform it and make it seem like the whole of Baltimore was inside this room. Do you understand? And that's the thing he knows how to do best. So they need to learn from that part, but then they all need to learn from the likes of Easy. The guy don't play that shit.
I did I was about to play
Because I
it.
can see it.
No. It's only nice if he doesn't see it coming.
I know.
Well, yeah. So they have the they need to learn from Davido's ethics. I don't think he doesn't go to any show. I mean, as long as he's getting paid or like this kind of show. Then again, he has a blue passport, so he doesn't have that visa issues. Because Easy to had visa issues.
Yeah.
You know.
Allegedly. But
No, it did. I don't know of it, but I
didn't
know.
understand it.
No,
Because
so
he canceled his tour here.
Yeah,
It
but
was
he's
the American-
rescheduled.
I know, but then like a week or two after he was in
So
Chicago.
this is what happened. This is what happens there, like from personal experience with people I know, like regular people. So you drop off your passport, as you know, at the embassy, and they don't tell you when you get it back. And I know someone who's had his passport there for 6 months. He had to beg them to give it back. Say, guy, I have somewhere else to go.
6 months for what?
Joe just
What
processing.
kind of was it type of visa? Like
Joe just processing. Just had a backlog. So he had to be like, fam, can you give me my passport back? I have other places to go to. So, and that's what Easy was trying to say, is that it can come out any day.
it's crazy.
So unfortunately, it did come out. So that's why he rescheduled, you know, the shows he missed and everything. But lucky for him, it came out before Coachella.
Anyway, but while we're on music, did anyone check out the Beyonce Homecoming?
No,
I watched it.
no.
Onyade was telling me that she caught Beyonce lip syncing.
I think I'm the only one.
I
that-
feel like
Please,
No,
hey, please don't
we
say
didn't
anything
catch her
about
doing
Beyonce
anything.
here, please,
She was perfect.
because they're arguing that Beyonce is bigger than Michael Jackson. And I don't want to get into that
Okay.
argument.
It's
man.
not-
I saw that this morning.
it was an amazing.
Who was arguing?
It's a thing on Twitter now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
It's very-
I mean, Beyonce
we
is the
can
best
talk about it.
performer
It's very
of our
silly.
generation.
I think it's
Of
very
our
silly.
generation,
yeah,
yes,
that's
for
hands
sure,
down.
for sure.
It doesn't take away from.
But can you make an
MJ.
argument that maybe she has I don't know, man.
It's very silly.
A
Does
greater
she have
performer
what?
than MJ.
It's
I don't
very,
know.
very silly.
I don't know.
But you see, here's the problem. And you need to,
MJ,
you know, and this is the same
started
thing.
dances.
So,
he started.
yeah.
He started the
Here's the,
moonwalk.
here's the
You
problem
can't
with
necessarily
Twitter.
Replace him as a legend.
Here's the problem with Twitter. A lot of these people on Twitter, I started doing this thing where if I see a stupid comment on social media, I just check your profile and you realize some of these people are 18, 19.
They're young.
MJ died, well, how many years ago? Probably 10 years ago, 8 years ago. They never saw him.
Really,
you know, and towards the end, so it's like they were probably 10 when he died. So it's like all they know is Beyonce.
That's
you know, so
point.
and then it's now a cultural movement. So it's like
that's a good point.
Beyonce is it's a trend.
You know what? It's going to be like the MJ versus LeBron debate.
Yeah, because
since forever.
I'm Kobe, you know, but in the new era too, if I'm going to do MJ LeBron, I'll pick LeBron because I never really saw MJ play like that. You know what I mean? I saw a few clips, but.
So is it about the plane or like the ring?
It's more
the awards, like stuff like that.
Yeah, so but that's the thing. You can't. MJ broke the record.
But the thing is,
for Grammys,
MJ, you know, MJ has more records than
has
Beyonce.
More hits sold.
He has more hits,
more
sold.
sales, more record, more income,
more number ones. The only other person that has come close has been like just a few people. I think Mariah Carey, Drake too has come close. Yeah. Drake broke some of his records, but not all of them.
Beyonce is amazing right now. If you're comparing her to like everyone who's performing right now,
she's an amazing.
You know, she's her team. I mean, even though sometimes they be jacking some people's.
That's another thing. That's another thing that people
they
say.
Do this thing where they would probably find a performer in like a lesser known area, like what Kanye did to this guy, this South African guy with the floating stage.
Casper.
Yeah. Casper was the first person to do a floating stage in South Africa, but you know Americans are ignorant. Kanye took it, ran with it, and then they started telling Casper, even though there's video evidence of Casper doing it years before Kanye, but they started making they can get away with it. Beyonce has a lot of accusations like that.
But there's nothing wrong with
that.
There's
nothing wrong.
You can take
and I feel like she didn't say she invented it, but the problem comes when. Like you do something, you put your sweat and tears into you do it. Beyonce probably even acknowledge you probably when she says, "Hey, I'm about to do this." But the problem is the fans.
Yeah,
the fans start making it seem like Beyonce invented it. So and that can hurt you as a person, and you can't control the fans. Unfortunately, so I don't think Beyonce has a problem.
We should bring back to this MJ argument. I think as a complete artist, right? So let's look at what MJ did. He was a dancer, great dancer,
amazing singer,
probably more revolutionary dancer than Beyonce. Let's face it.
Bro,
he started the moonwalk.
Bro, that guy did
the moonwalk.
You see when James Brown called him on stage, I was begging him to dance, and he hit it so effortlessly. So, it was like, man.
So we can say, okay, in terms of performance,
it's a better performer.
It's close. It's close though because Beyonce is a different kind of performer. She's a woman.
She has more of a team. No. And they do a very good job together and individually.
Have you seen? MJ can dance, but Beyonce she puts
on a show. So MJ is more of him. So MJ he doesn't really do sets like that.
Yeah.
But people forget this. MJ was the person who made halftime Super Bowl shows popular. He was the first ever Super Bowl halftime show performer, and he killed it. And like. You know, his presence there, that was what made Super Bowl halftime a thing.
So one of the things I'll give Beyonce credit for is her ability to sing while performing. It's like nothing ever. I don't understand. Like you watch her performing, she's pretty much doing backflips.
The fact that
she's
a woman,
singing the whole time.
The fact that she's a woman
and she's keeping the same.
She was pregnant for some of these performances. That's what makes me put her above everybody else performing right now.
Yeah,
but
I don't think you should compare her to Michael Jackson.
But not to Michael Jackson. To everybody else, yes, she is. Yeah. She's done. Even if you can put up a show like her, the fact that she was pregnant through some of these things, like when I catch a cold, I'm not doing anything. Now imagine now being pregnant, like hell no, I'm not doing that. You know. Tried.
So then, did a good job. The other aspect I was going to look at, just as an artist, as a creator, I wouldn't really put Beyonce there.
No. She has a lot of writers.
Yeah,
MJ
she had teams of writers. Don't get me wrong. Beyonce is also involved in the studio. She's like coming up with ideas, but it wasn't like.
Did you watch The Homecoming?
No, I didn't.
I think you guys need to watch it. Like she really tried.
She's involved in like
very involved. Like I didn't even think like there were times like Jay-Z was kind of like, oh okay, like what's going on, but no, she's very involved.
She's involved.
And I think she has evolved to this point.
Yes, she has. It wasn't always like that.
It wasn't always.
But MJ, since he was young, since he started working with the legendary,
I think MJ was also like his family, his dad and everything. They also like curated him a little bit.
It's possible. I mean, R. Kelly wrote for him too. You know,
by himself or coming up with ideas like, "Oh, let my stage look like this." No.
But you see, MJ started. But
MJ
started from a young age.
MJ was like he was like crazy about it, like in terms of his stage, like
what age?
To the very needed.
When he was in Jackson 5.
Ever since no, I'm talking about from like Thriller. From like Thriller,
Okay.
they say he's been like that. He worked with what's that guy, the legendary producer,
Quincy
Jones, right?
Yeah.
And they wrote the songs together. Like he came up with the ideas of the songs. They wrote.
So I don't know if any album Beyonce has beaten Thriller in terms of sales, in terms of impact. I don't know. And those numbers, I don't. You know, and like I don't want to do it as she's the best of the rest, because I want to just put MJ as he's on his own planet.
Yeah.
And then in terms of humans or everybody else, she's the best.
Like,
you know.
Yeah, it's really not fair.
It's not fair to compare. So like, no one should. But you know, when you start that argument,
for me, honestly, I felt like
skewed.
Michael Jackson did whatever his family wanted him to do. I didn't see him as
no, but after a while, he left his family now.
I don't know. I just always felt like he was a yes man. Like,
it worked for him, and he connected a lot of people together. I mean, Beyonce does, but then you argue, is social media also playing a part in Beyonce's impact? Do you know how many people watch Homecoming just so they don't feel left out, that they didn't see Homecoming? You know, like that plays a role too. You know,
so please explain what is Homecoming. It's just
is that songs or is that live songs? I mean,
it's a documentary of her Coachella performance.
Yeah,
which I heard was like the best performance.
It was an amazing performance.
It really was a good show.
But that was the same performance that she had the choir. Was it?
Yeah,
like
it was
like the band, right?
It's like like drumline kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a home.
So wait, the songs in the album are there? Her songs she's already released before.
They're all old.
It was
they're
like
not
a Beyonce concert.
It was a concert documentary.
So it was like live.
Live.
But it didn't have
a little bit of behind the scenes.
But it didn't have the new songs with Jay-Z.
No, it was just
it was like from that time.
It was from.
I mean, she had Jay-Z performed.
It wasn't a new song.
Which I don't know if you guys noticed that like every time like Beyonce is doing something, Jay-Z always has to make like some kind of weird guest appearance. It's not reverse. Like I don't know. Maybe
because she's more impactful now. Jay-Z is not really. Jay-Z, I mean, he has one fan that I know of like this. The same guy, but Jay-Z is not really like. You know, Jay-Z, I guess he's just doing his own thing on the low. He's not really like Jay-Z will sell out arenas, but he's not as impactful culturally as Beyonce. She's more relevant.
Yeah, I think that's what she did for Homecoming.
Look at when they did that Mandela, that show they did in South Africa trying to end poverty. Right. I forget the thing. It was a Beyonce show, but Jay-Z was just there. That's what it was.
Speaking of Beyonce, though, did you hear about Kid Dominant making a Beyonce's album?
Yeah, so I mean,
Kid Dominant, he's the one that does a lot of those Davido songs.
It did fall. It did fall. Sorry.
Yeah, he's always Davido is always good. Kid Dominant.
He did fall. He's worked with Wizkid. He's worked with Malik. He's worked. No, I don't know if Malik, but he's worked with a lot of people.
Let's even check where Fall is on the charts.
He's worked with and he has his own song with the one he did with AKA Feline Versace.
Yeah.
He's doing well, and I'm not surprised.
That's a good look, man.
He's on the. I do hope it's the official track list.
Yeah.
Because the album is not out, and
so
Genius.
bogus.
No, it's not. I don't think it's bogus. I think he did work with Beyonce, because Davido posted it, and Davido is very quick to jump the gun, but he posted it. And Kidomna, responded saying, thanks and stuff like that. So he did work with her. My only fear is, how these people, the track list might not be official. It might be just, fans speculating, or it might be a version that's not final. But its song supposedly features Rihanna, and I don't think they'll cut off a song with Beyonce and Rihanna off an album.
Rihanna and Beyonce on the track.
On the track. I don't think they'll cut that off the album. But what happened was Genius dropped a album cover 20 B7 and then they dropped the track list, but they took away the track list like almost immediately, saying the album was supposed to come out on the 28th, I think, or the 20th, I don't know, on sometime soon. So I don't know how official that is, but I think he did do a song with her.
I'm looking for Fall. I'm trying to see where it is now.
It's not on the official Billboard though.
Yeah, it might have dropped. No, I'm on the hip hop.
No, it's on the Airplay one. No, it's not on
the Airplay one.
It's not on the official track.
Okay.
Somebody called him out for that. They said, dude, you know, you're just Nigerians, man. They can't let you be great, man. They called him out. They're like, guy, if you make the official list now, what will you not be doing? He's like, I'll shout more.
He's number 13. He's still rising though. He's number 13. He's still on. He's still rising. That's still a good look. All right, we need to move on.
And then speaking of all this, Drake brought out Wiz, man. Brought out Wiz Kid.
Yes,
and the first time they performed together
at the O2, right? Yeah, that was huge. That was huge.
Yeah.
All right.
And he's following Niniola now.
Who's following
Drake?
Niniola?
He on the radio show. He said his favorite song right now is "Fever" by Wizkid, and he said he likes Niniola's Maradona.
I saw that.
Well, Niniola needs to chill, man. She's really like riding the guy's dick on Instagram, man. Like every small thing she's tagging him, saying my best friend.
Oh, really? Yeah, she's doing too much. Oh, did you also see the one that her sister? Oh, by the way, for those that don't know, Niniola and Teni are sisters. Yeah. Did you see that clip that Teni had with Dangote?
No, I haven't seen it.
Where I think she was saying Dangote is her daddy. It was kind of corny.
It was corny.
It was funny.
It was funny, but it was.
I like Teni the artist. I like Teni the artist.
I thought it was funny. Like I thought it was original.
A popular opinion. I like Teni the artist. I like Falz the artist. I don't like them the comedians.
The comedians?
No, I prefer Falz the comedian.
Falz is funny though.
Because it's like the same thing. Is that like guy do something? I don't know, man.
Has anyone seen that Falz movie on Netflix?
No. Which one?
The school. We saw it now.
Chief Daddy.
Oh, that's.
I heard it was whack.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I liked it.
So you didn't know that was Falz? Don't lie.
I heard it was.
You didn't know that was.
That's not the whack one. He has another one. That
I was like, I knew he was an artist.
I mean, that one was whack too.
There's
a new one that just came out. New Money.
Maybe
it's on
that's
Amazon Prime. And
really?
I like Chief Daddy. Did you like it?
You didn't like it.
But the thing is, like, my expectation for movies like that is not high.
So, man, I sound like a critic. Me and Nigerian movies just don't get along, man. Because, like, I feel
you
like
have to have a taste.
They put like so much emphasis. Like they're trying now, like production wise. Even though there's still some like sometimes you can hear like the echoes and like there's still work to be done. But production wise,
they're getting better.
They're doing almost A1 quality, just like music videos. Yeah. But like scripting wise,
writing,
it's trash. It's a lot of it is like, and it's casting wise, like no disrespect, but like. I saw a movie where Banky W was playing a guy who did NYC. I was like, why would I watch a 40-year-old man play a role of it? Like,
because
I was like, nothing would never make me.
Also doing NYC. Like,
no. But the role of him is he's playing this American guy who's doing like.
Yes.
It's not that common now as a 40-year-old.
People going back now.
People going back, but come on, man. Like you can find. Look, I understand that, like, and it's the same. It's the same lady who
has left politics and gone back to his acting.
This was before politics,
okay.
but you probably go back. But this is the same. What's her name? Kemi Adetiba, I think. I understand they did well with Wedding Party. I feel like I'm the only person that doesn't like Wedding Party that much.
I loved it. Like it was great.
Here's
I
the
loved
thing
it.
I didn't think they need to make a second one.
It wasn't that funny.
I haven't seen the second one.
They over exaggerated our characters.
It
was very
so like it had to me. It had random things like the part of the
irritating.
guy robbing the thing kind of was like.
It was over exaggerated.
Did you guys need to fill up time for
this? They could have
this?
had the exact same movie without being so exaggerated.
No, but that's what happens. That's what I had to realize.
Weddings,
and here's the thing. I think Wedding Party was a cheat code because Nigerians love weddings. You already got something they love and you're going to run with it. And the problem is that if we keep limiting ourselves, and this is not the word I would use, it might not be right, but it's the easy way out. Same thing with our music. If we keep giving them just Zanku songs, because we know that if I drop a Zanku song, everybody will dance to it. The same thing with the movies. If I give them something about love and heartbreak and this thing, but we realize we keep putting ourselves in a box. When it's time for us to leave that box, it's nothing. I'm sure all these Hollywood movies, we say, why don't they hire Nigerian actors? I'm sure they've tried, and they realize that these people are not going to cut it in this movie. You understand? So it's like we need to take ourselves. Someone has to stand up and say, okay, we need to start something different and expand the box. You know, so Wedding Party was not my cup of tea, but it was. I liked the movie.
I liked the way. I think maybe.
I liked the way they put it together. I like the
Chief Daddy. I don't think I'm gonna.
I haven't seen Chief Daddy. But it was the same. I think it's the same team. The lady that wrote the Wedding Party, that produced Wedding Party and directed or whatever, and Banky that did this other one that was NYC. But when I saw the poster and I saw Banky like an NYC shirt, and I was like, hell no, I'm not watching this. This doesn't look realistic.
While we're on music, Yachty.
Oh yeah, he wrote City Girls Act Up now.
Yeah, he wrote City Girls Act Up. But I actually went back and I was listening to the lyrics.
Sounds
and I was kind of shocked. Oh. Like the content of what he was saying.
Yeah, he said he was like no homo.
I'm like, what?
when he recorded this.
Like, and I started understanding why it was trending so much, because if you really look at the lyrics and look at the fact that, you know, these girls are talking about scamming niggas and cheating niggas and.
But do you know the funny thing is? So he said, "I know what girls want to hear, and I know, you know, they like this raunchy thing. It's a trend now. That's why you have Megan and you have all these people. Because this whole, it's a Cardi has hopped on it first. It's the trend.
Yeah, like extra ratchet.
Extra ratchet.
I hate it.
But it's funny because a lot of girls, you know, joke. Some might take it to heart, but like, you know, there's this whole thing on Twitter about like, oh, yeah, scam him, get this. But it's like your favorite song was written by a man. How do you feel?
Know, right?
Do you understand? Like, how do you feel? Do you understand?
But while
like,
we're on Cardi, there's this one lyric about on Cardi that what I think was a recent song where she said, "I don't take Plan B, I swallow." Well, do you know what song that was?
Isn't it
one of her songs? I don't know.
Isn't it Tatiana?
Yeah, okay, it was
might be.
Tatiana. It was Tatiana. I was trying to remember what it was. Yeah, I think she just came out with a new song too with her boyfriend Clout.
And that video
Clout.
is way too much.
Oh, you saw the Clout video?
Yeah.
Oh, it's raunchy.
It's
I don't
too
even know
raunchy.
He's holding her thighs like a guitar, and he's like playing her. He's like strumming her ass. It was
way
pretty
too raunchy.
It was pretty. But I kind of liked it.
I think she goes
It was
a little
flashy.
bit overboard.
You think
with
so?
Like her music is
it's selling now. It's selling.
It's selling. That's fine. But like,
you know how
her
many
music
girls
is
die
very
by this
vulgar.
thing? Hey, you know, I mean, these girls, they have it as their Bible, like this.
Like when that's
Tricking
why usually
man
sometimes when I listen to music like that,
man.
I try to ignore the actual lyrics because
And
I
just-
like the
and just
song.
vibe.
I just like the flow.
When I hear the lyrics, it's
I
like,
just
oh my
like the
god, I
flow.
can't believe she
Yeah.
just said that.
I think it's lazy songs, but I like the flow. I think it's an easy formula.
Yeah, but switching gears now, I do want to bring up something that I came across online. You guys ever heard of a pastor, Tony Rapu?
I just heard about him the last time.
I just recently heard about him myself.
Yeah, when I saw this clip about this girl. Yeah.
So apparently there's supposed to be this growing crack epidemic in Nigeria. Heroin and crack. And there's this video, I'm gonna play it now. Is this girl? She goes by the name Lizzy.
Yeah.
She allegedly went to Vivian Fowler, even though Vivian Fowler quickly came out with a statement saying
She didn't go there.
we did see our records.
I'm going to talk about that too.
But I suspect she
They're
really did go there.
They're very foolish.
But listen to this. It's this girl. They're showing her in this crack, what looks like a crack house or something. Hold on. Just to give a quick background, what this girl does is she, like during the day, she dresses like these, you know, those wali people, or what they call them, those Muslim people, the people that wear hijabs, like on the streets in Nigeria. And she goes and she begs all day, like literally. And she begs, and then at night she goes to this crack house and she just
that's what crackheads do. That's why I don't
sells,
be giving
she sells
them money
herself. I mean,
now.
it's pretty sick.
A lot of these homeless guys in Baltimore, if you give them money,
I didn't
that's
know
what
this
they
was
do.
going on in Lagos. Ikeja.
They go
Watch
back
this.
and-
I'm gonna play this real quick. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
I've been here now for 7 years. I've been seeing different rehab and I refuse to go because I feel they will not be able to take care of me because of the heroine and crack has gone inside me very well. But I've been hearing about Tony Rapu for a very, very long time. And the last time he was here, I was not fortunate to see him. When they came for Buki,
Do you see her?
waiting for this moment for a
Like
very,
she
very
looks-
long time. I finished my secondary school from Vivian Fowler. I went to Caleb Nursery and Primary School. I came into drug.
They're
to a
showing her
friend.
smoking the crack right now.
Yeah, he used to be my boyfriend. He was putting in my weed, I don't know. So there was one time he now showed it to me that I was not like, what was this one? He said it's cocaine. I said, why will you be putting cocaine in my weed and you not tell me? That's how I go into crack.
So yeah, she got it through someone. But before we even break this down, first of all, the only thing that bothers me about this is I understand you guys want to paint a picture, bro. If you're supposed to be helping out, why are you having a small crack on the
That was
store?
weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That was weird.
But to Vivian Fowler, I think you guys are like the most stupid school ever because First of all, anyone who went to school in Nigeria, Vivian Fowler girls are one of the worst sets of like anytime you hear Vivian Fowler, you hear the most raunchy thing.
That wasn't me.
No. I'm saying it with my chest. No, not about drugs, but like it's the stereotype about VF girls were like, you know, they were the raunchiest girls that were wild. Mm-hmm. But let's even say that's all just BS and rumors, and they're all saints and angels. The fact that you guys had to go and say you dug deep. And then you didn't find her name, any of the names she gave, and she had no record. What is that gaining? Like, what are you trying to say that? Oh no, did she say Vivian Fowler was where she started smoking crack? She only said she went to VF.
I know that was.
So it's like the fact
you have to understand the culture in Nigeria.
Yeah, but that's why I said this is the problem we have with putting ourselves in a box. Come out and say nothing, or just say, you know what? As much as we don't think she came to our school, we're sad to see what's going on with her, and we hope girls you don't distance yourself. Distancing doesn't solve a problem.
Yes, you're thinking that because you're here.
Like, but someone needs to start.
What's going to happen in Nigeria is
everybody say we're not going to VF. Yeah, and that's a very stupid thing.
Because she said Vivian.
And that's the very stupid thing, because the truth of the matter is, no matter how good, I've seen goody two shoes parents feeling like their kids are the best, and they're the worst of the kids. Like, we paint this picture where I can't do that. But
let me give you an example. So my brother just started college this semester, and my parents, he's an American citizen, and I told him, I'm like, okay, why don't you? He was here for the summer, just hanging out, not doing anything. I'm like, why doesn't he go to community college and take classes? And it was like, what do you mean? God forbid! Like, we hear there's this stereotype of community college. They're just hanging out, drinking, smoking crack, and like legit, that's what they think.
Should go to Stanford and
I'm
see
like,
what goes on there.
And that's what I said. I'm like you think, community college, but you go to all these schools, like it's predominantly white schools with rich kids, that they see much worse things than. But it's just that it's the stereotype. Like, and
but you have to change their mindset.
It didn't change. They didn't agree.
But if Strong School came out and said, hey, you know, I think this is how mindset changes. We paint this picture of where we're perfect, and
but then Vivian Fowler isn't interested in changing mindset. They want to protect their own interest.
You know why?
They want to keep.
And to be honest, I don't even think it's a Nigerian thing. If anything comes out here, and they would give you that support.
I think it's.
They would say, we support
good.
whatever, but they're also going to say no, not my.
Who connected this video to Vivian Fowler?
Because she just used the word. She just said she went to VF. They went as far as saying
it wasn't until they released the statement. That's when
they went as far.
That's why I'm saying.
They went as far as saying, they even went as far. Literally, when she said she went to Caleb and she went to VF. A lot of people in the comments were saying, "Oh, she must have come from a good home since she was able to go to private school." Yeah. And
she speaks pretty well.
Yeah, and that's fine. But then next thing they go, oh, we did our investigation. So they went to contact. So you mean you have means of going to contact crackheads but you're not going to help them, but you're going to go contact them to find out the name this girl used. So they found 2 names and said none of those names are in their records. And it's the saddest thing is that if this girl, I went to Olashiri, and I don't rep Olashiri for anything. Like, I never have anything good to say about the school as a whole, because the school didn't treat me right. But I tell you, tomorrow, if I come out and I'm president or my name is something, they'll be the first set of people to come and say, oh, he came to my school. And the thing about it is, it's bullshit. I would denounce them at that point and say, no, I went to ISI because I did go to ISI first. It's because they never treated me good when I was there. But once you come out and you're being like this poster person, that's when they're like, oh my God, this person's an alumni. Nah, fuck that.
I don't think it's far-fetched for them to do that. I think it's bullshit. Anywhere they would actually do it.
But I'm about to play the second part of this video. So I think Tony Rapu is this pastor that goes and he tries to rehabilitate people, right? Yeah. And he goes into these communities, and he actually seems like a genuinely good guy. Like, he seems like not like the typical Niger pastor. Or am I wrong here?
I haven't seen anything else about him.
It seems like he's doing community work. Like, he's actually there trying to help people. That's good. Hopefully it's not for clout. But I'm about to play the second video where Tony Rapu actually goes.
I don't even know what it looks like.
I'm about to play it. 1 second. Yeah, he's a tall dude. So he's going into the slums now. I think he's going to go meet Lizzy.
Lizzy. Lizzy's here. Yeah. She's here, sir. This is Lizzy. Oh yeah, let's go there.
And she is. Yeah, she like grabbed his legs. He's crying. They're praying now. Okay, so they're taking her to the rehab center to go detox. That thing is... Look, the reason why I bring this up, guys...
So they went into the crack house.
Yeah.
What about the other people there?
They just took her.
The camera team cannot record one at a time.
She's tearing up now.
I can't even believe there are such crack houses in Nigeria.
That to me is what is I find mind
I can't
blowing.
believe it.
The thing I do like about this
very
though
disappointing.
is that Tony, I mean, like you said, what happens to the rest? He's not Tony Rapu. Is that his name? Rapu.
Yeah. Rapu.
He's not Jesus Christ, so it's not his job. In all fairness, it's nobody's job to do anything for anybody. But the fact that he's come out and he's made it mainstream, like he's put it for one, it means other clouds, or at least cloud chasing pastors, the rest would also probably do something like this, but at least it will help a community. I like the fact that he's showing that she's a human being.
Yeah.
He's not overlooking the fact that you do crack, the way Vivian Fowler is looking at it and saying, no, I have to distance myself. He's looking at it and saying, no, because a lot of churches distance themselves from people like this. They use people like this to tell you this is what happens to you if you don't come to Christ, and this is what happens to your children if we don't pray for them and everything. But he's like, look, we're gonna go get that girl and do something for her.
And also, let me mention, I don't think this is the first time he's doing.
I don't think so,
like
because she mentioned the bookie girl.
That.
So I guess and it's not cheap also to take someone out of a crack house. You know, so
but what really scares me about this story is that there's nothing more dangerous than when you mix poverty and crack.
Drugs in general.
Drugs in general, but at first, I knew about the codeine thing. You know, there was a time that it was really big, and I heard about how big that was, and now it's like crack now.
All these things are gateway drugs. That's why I hate when people downplay things like weed or marijuana, because they're all gateway drugs. She would have never been. She would have never.
That's something I never understood. What's gateway drug?
So it's a drug, right? That may be less addictive or less harmful, right? But it leads to other things like alcohol. It starts.
Alcohol's a gateway drug.
It can be. So it starts your addiction to other substances that are more severe, like crack cocaine. She was smoking weed. He laced
and that was how
her
it started. That is true. That is true. You do make a point there.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm smoking. I'm getting high. This is the feeling." She doesn't even. She has no idea. Okay, so that's why I don't like when people downplay things like marijuana, even though it can maybe have some other beneficial effects to it. It's still a gateway drug.
Quick question: if he laced her food instead with weed,
she's not supposed to eat rice and get high.
But if
so she eats rice.
No, but if he laced it and
eats rice and get high, she's gonna do
but you know
wrong.
that when
if you do it one time,
when
you still have a chance.
But you don't know when they do the experiments with rats. The rats don't know what they're eating. Obviously, they know humans, but the addiction builds over time to the fact where when they give them food and they give them crack, they want crack. And it might be a day where it might not hit her straight away, but eventually she realized that something feels a little off, and then she would ask and say, what's different this time in the food? And I say, oh, I didn't put crack in there. And then she might be like, oh, let me try the crack. I don't gateway drug, I think is a myth, because I just feel like
it's not a myth, because
liquor or anything else.
Yes, sorry about that. We had a brief intermission, but we're back. We were saying, Wale?
I said gateway drug is a myth.
Yes.
Well, and I was saying it's not a myth, because you could start taking prescription pills, for example, narcotics, and anything you can build tolerance to. Once you get to that point where it's no longer effective for you or giving you that high, you're going to look for something else. And anything you can build tolerance to or dependence to, you will have withdrawal symptoms too. Whether it's the pain coming back or you have physical withdrawal, your body goes, you start to sweat, you're shaking, headaches, depending on what substance you're taking.
It's also person to person, it differs. You think shisha, hookah is a gateway drug?
No. I mean, you can't build dependence or tolerance to shisha.
You can't?
No.
I know people that are hooked on hookah, though.
It's in their head. You can't physically be dependent on hookah.
Well, I see what you mean.
Okay.
But if you become physically dependent on a substance, alcohol too. If you're an alcoholic, that one bottle that you're drinking turns into 10 bottles.
Yeah, I think it's all about moderation. As long as you're not abusing it and you're not.
I mean, anybody who abuses anything,
they're still classified as that way, though.
as gateway.
Yeah.
I mean,
If it can lead to something else, yes.
Yeah, and there has been a lot of research that.
I mean, I definitely, I'm not disputing that it obviously there's I mean, for this girl it was obviously the gateway. But I'm just saying that
She was tricked.
I don't think that's necessarily any reason to villainize one drug over another, because we all have one type of substance abuse. Actually,
some people have.
Some people have.
I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think you can. Some drugs can be villainized over others.
They can.
Okay, so
like meth,
definitely. But then you have a drug like weed that there are actually a lot of health benefits to it too.
Yes,
but
that's why you can't that's why you have to
So I think
penalize some over others.
The problem is that weed. That's
fair.
the one that people can't seem to agree on, because you have arguments like weed is good for you, it is that, and you have arguments like it's a gateway drug, and that's just the middle one.
All I know is that if alcohol is legal, and alcohol has caused way more deaths, then you can't.
Alcohol wasn't always legal. And
Yeah,
I don't
it
think,
wasn't.
and there's also restrictions.
And it was a
age
bigger,
restrictions
and it
on
was
alcohol.
it was a bigger problem when it wasn't legal.
And I'm not saying
Also
that
with
alcohol
weed,
isn't a problem.
you're smoking
but
it,
Yeah.
and with alcohol,
I'm just not sure.
The method, people tend to correlate
Yeah.
the fact that you can smoke crack, you can.
Okay, fair.
The delivery
It's almost
of
the
a
same.
substance
Yeah.
differs in terms of potency.
Yeah.
Anything that you take in by mouth
Yeah.
has to go through your whole digestive system,
Like alcohol.
like alcohol.
Yeah.
And it has to
Uh-huh.
be processed by your liver and everything, right?
Yeah.
But if you inhale something
Yeah.
or if you inject something, it's like going right
Into
through
your bloodstream.
Yeah.
bloodstream.
Yeah.
So yes, you can definitely villainize
Well,
some substances.
let's move on.
over
Say no
others.
to
But
drugs,
but
kids.
what I don't understand is why you choose
That's
to.
the only-
Like, do you know that?
So what I don't
there's some
understand is
girls-
why
Say no
you
to
choose. When
drugs.
let me finish. What I don't understand is why you choose to penalize weed and you're not talking about alcohol, when we know that alcohol has caused far more
I
deaths.
don't.
She
I'm
said
not.
it's
I
the
don't. I
same
said
thing,
that it's they're the same. They're both
The
bad.
same.
What I was saying is I don't like when people downplay certain drugs like weed just
Okay,
because
fair.
it has some benefits.
Fair.
It is still a drug that
Fair.
can lead to other things.
Okay.
So is
So
alcohol.
in summary, yes, we all agree that these things are all gateways. Yes. Well, we're in agreement with that, right? Oh, except Wale. Wale thinks it's a bit of a myth.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's a theory.
All right, but we need to move on to our
Wale thinks food
break.
is a gateway.
It's possible now. You know what food they've laced.
All right, Wale, introduce the next song to us.
Yeah, so this next song is by some guy called Rema. He's actually signed to Jazzy's label, so I guess he's like the newest guy.
Oh, really?
I guess Maven Records
Jazzy
is, still,
is rebooting.
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't even know. But the song is called Dumebi, and it's actually nice. I don't know too much about the guy yet, but I listened to it a few weeks ago.
And his name is
Rema.
Rema.
R-E-M-A.
R-E-M-A.
Yeah.
All right.
So, here we go. Oh snap! We might have ads with. Okay.
Another banger.
Yeah.
That's a jam. That's a jam.
Yeah,
That's a jam.
The guy is 18 years
Rema.
old. Is 18.
okay.
He's signed to Maven's, and he actually has a self-titled EP.
Oh, okay.
That's 4 tracks. That's one of the tracks on there.
Okay, that's someone to look out for.
Yeah.
I know you're always hating on Jazzy that he's done. Maybe this might be his.
I'm not hitting on Jazzy. I don't know. I'm not hitting on Jazzy.
Anyway, so anyone caught up with Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
We're about to get in some Game of Thrones
No, I haven't.
talk. So you guys, for those listening, if
You
you
haven't
have,
what?
I haven't caught up with Game of Thrones.
if you haven't watched,
Like, what episode are you on?
don't worry. He's like first season. He's not like a factor. He's not. Don't
Like
worry.
you haven't watched
He-
it?
I
he
forgot
won't-
that he
I'm
doesn't
on-
watch.
He won't even know what we're talking about.
Oh my god.
So
I'm on
for
season-
those
I'm on
that don't want
season-
any,
hold on, I'm about to start season 6. So,
okay, you're close. You're close.
So let's
For,
chill.
for
Why are you
those,
so behind?
I'm taking my time. Are they paying me?
no, but that was actually because you only started like a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
That's
I've
actually-
watched it before.
Oh.
I just stopped. So like when I get to episodes I remember, I just skip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So season 8 kicked off. Now, for those that don't want any spoilers or potential spoilers,
Like
this
me.
is the time to log
Like me.
off.
Like
This,
you.
this is the time to log off.
I don't want to hear spoilers.
Don't worry, you're not gonna know what we're talking about. You're not
What do you mean I don't
inside.
know what I'm talking about?
You're not inside the.
Is it not the same thing that's been happening
I'm
since?
not
Not the
going to
same people that
spoil
have been
it.
fighting since season 3 or so.
So, what did you guys think about episode 1?
It was amazing.
It was good.
The intro when John and Khaleesi were just riding.
Wait,
in.
Jon Snow is alive. I'm just kidding. I know that.
It was
Even though it's
quite a show.
not yet dead in where I am, but I know he died and came back. So,
Okay.
Some people felt like the dragon flying scene was unnecessary. I thought it was awesome.
And I thought it was good.
Daenerys, she has to do it. Whenever she's making an entrance, she brings her dragons because she's introducing.
But you know,
her
but someone
dragons to
said
people.
something very important, like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you don't come there and scare them into respecting you. Like, you have to earn that
You
respect."
have
And she
to.
tries to do that. I mean, I get where she's coming from because they're already looking at her like, "Who's this?" But I
It
don't
wasn't. I don't think it was a scare tactic. It was like, hey, look, everything everyone's been saying, all the ravens you've been reading, they're true. These are my dragons.
Okay.
They haven't.
I
seen
thought it
them
was scare. I thought it was because she was even looking like,
Well,
was because
well,
they were
well. The
looking at
people
her
of
like,
Winterfell didn't really accept her yet. It doesn't
no,
seem
no.
like it,
No,
and it doesn't
they
seem like
don't.
Sansa gives a shit either. Sansa is just like,
I just can't
bitch.
stand her. I can't stand Sansa. So
no. I
much.
mean, I get where she's coming from now. Like, no.
Sansa has
Like-
gone through a lot.
Yeah, she has.
Sansa has gone through a whole lot.
yeah, because she's
She's wisened up,
so.
but I feel like
Did it.
Sansa is becoming like almost like the counterweight to Cersei, almost.
And
in
I
a
don't
way.
want her to.
Like for the Starks and the Lannisters, like the way Cersei is just
for the Lannisters.
digging into her heels, and I ain't going up there. Sansa is like, I'm not really trying to work with these people either.
No, but she's
the one with
she's
all the
not her-
foresight, almost.
Who?
Sansa.
Sansa.
Just like how Cersei is. The
Okay,
one.
so Onyeko,
I don't
now
think-
for those that don't know, Onyeko has read the book, so she has some insights that we don't have, and
And
that
for those who don't know, Corey, we were supposed to read the book together.
I stopped at the
What
first
happened?
book. I stopped at the second book. It was long. That book is long.
But no, like I felt like it was more interesting to read it after I watched the first season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
So
I
it
could
even
put
gets more
faces to
interesting?
names, and I could
Ah.
it made a little bit more sense, and that's why I
Okay.
tried to really get everyone like, let's read this book. But,
Okay.
oh wow, it's okay.
So, what have been your biggest reveals so far? Like in the entire series? Because this is the last season, and I want us to kind of like, for you, the biggest reveals, the biggest revelations.
I don't even know. Like, what would be biggest?
R plus L is equal to J is one. That was a big one.
It's hard because I read the book,
Yeah.
so it's different. It's a little bit different
different.
in the book. Like, I love the storyline. So it's like, where is this going? Is this Hollywood? Is this like, is it what he really intended for the series? But I think yes. I mean, that's big. That's pretty big. It scares me because I'm not sure how the Northerners, like particularly like the Stark family, is gonna take it. Like, I think they are going to probably cut Jon off. Like like he's not one of them.
So there was a scene that Arya went to meet Jon, and that scene, you know, at the end, she was like, "Just remember,
Don't forget that.
don't
yeah.
forget that." And the Game of Thrones writers have a way of just inserting things in there that are subtle and they aren't quite as like, you don't really think much of it until you come back later. And they've been doing it since season 1. Like, I watched it again. When you're there, and I watched it again starting from season 1, and there were still things that were still cut. And this is like my 3rd, 4th time watching it too. But I felt like that was one little hint
It
that
was.
okay, there might be some friction here.
Yeah,
Oh,
because she did it while she was embracing him.
Yes.
With such a genuine look of love on her face.
Yes.
But saying,
But
look,
also like a
don't
threat.
cross a threat at the same time.
Yes. And like, I mean, it's I don't want to spoil too much.
No.
For
no.
like, I mean, there's stuff like that was talked about in the book. Like, I mean, we talked about like prophecies and all that stuff. And I think that's what I focused the most on with the show. Like all the witches that
The
say the
prophecies.
stuff. The lady with the mask in Caught that said her stuff. Like
Yes.
a lot of light. Like those people, they really know what they're talking about. I feel like he might either betray his family, his Stark family, or
Yes.
he's gonna have to betray Khaleesi. Like,
One of the
I
two.
think he'll betray Daenerys because they both can't survive this season.
They both can't
Sadly,
survive
they
this
can't.
season. So
Yeah.
so let's
They
talk
can't.
about prophecies. Let's talk about prophecies. There's this one prophecy that we've been we've seen a lot of things come out of it. It was the prophecy that Cersei got when she was a kid.
right.
So, Onika, do you want to just walk us through it? Because you've read the book,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a part of the prophecy that in the show, right? They show the first part of the prophecy. The second part of the prophecy, they don't show us in the show.
Yeah, I think
But-
they don't want us to know.
Yeah, they don't want us to know, and I feel like they might have another flashback that goes back and
Yeah,
continues.
they're
But
gonna-
then I can't remember what happened in the first flashback when they were having that in the show, right? Did she leave, and did she come back and then get another, or was it in the
No,
same?
it was all in the same. Like, but she was trying to convince the little witch to tell her, like, tell me everything, and she did.
Okay.
Like, but they're chopping it up in the show, so you don't.
So the first one has already come true. The first one was that you're gonna have.
You're gonna marry a king.
You're gonna marry a king.
Your king. The husband's gonna have 20 kids. You're gonna have 3. You're gonna be queen, but then a younger, prettier queen is gonna come and strike you down.
Okay, would that be Danny?
It could be, I thought it was Marjorie initially, but then she's gotten rid of Marjorie.
And then she's gotten rid of Marjorie. So Danny is the only one left.
I never thought.
And
it was
then
Marjorie.
there was thing of the
time,
golden crown, right?
Yeah, they were like, oh, she's gonna have a crown, which I mean, she's a queen, but then her kids, their shrouds,
they're shrouds,
golden because they're dying. That's why I don't think she's pregnant.
Okay.
Because they only told her she was gonna have 3. She's already had the 3.
She would probably just lose that baby.
I don't even think she is at all. Like,
you don't. So you think she
was swigging that wine in that episode? Like
she was. What was up with
back
that?
then?
Like,
they didn't think it was a risk.
Yeah. And then when Euron said, oh, "I'm gonna put a baby in your belly," like when he left, she started choking up like she was crying. Like if you watch it, I don't like.
No, I think
lost
no.
it.
I thought she did that because she was glad that he didn't know that she was already pregnant.
So
I think she's not. I don't think she is.
So
unless the witch is lying.
Yeah.
Like
so there's a
told her
third.
3
There's a
and she
third
had-
part of the prophecy, and this is one that's going to blow your mind. So let's go back to the episode now. In the episode, Cersei calls on Bronn. I'm telling you, these things, they mean something. Sends Qyburn to go meet Bronn. Bronn is with these 3 girls. He's about to have a foursome, and Qyburn comes. I need to talk to you. One of the girls is leaving. Qyburn is like, "Oh, look at her, poor girl. She's gonna end up with the leprosy by the end of." How did he know that? I guess he saw symptoms.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He's a doctor-ish.
And then Bronn was like, "Huh? What do you mean?" Oh, this show is so great. But then Qyburn tells him, "Look, Cersei wants you to kill your 2 brothers," which is like that's we always knew that she wanted Tyrion dead. Jaime's a new one, and I guess because Jaime has deserted her, has left, she's ready to kill them. But there was just something about it that just seemed so like, why would you want to do that in the midst of all this? They're not even where you guys are at. But I guess in the event that they survived, she wants them killed. And the theory out there, and again, this is a spoiler, so if you don't want to listen, don't listen to the next couple of minutes. Going back to the prophecy,
Yeah, so the last one is that
Yes.
her little brother is gonna kill her. Like she's gonna be
Valancourt.
strangled. Yes, and everyone's like, okay, that's Tyrion because he's little, he's her little brother. But it could also be Jaime because he came after her.
Like
technically, so we're thinking.
I think it'll be Jaime.
Yeah,
You
I
think
think
so?
it should be Jaime.
I think so too.
Like, or both of them shall need to.
There'll be something poetic about it.
That because here's the thing, right?
Tyrion is too on the nose.
Cersei doesn't really
it's-
deserve to die. She deserves to be like tortured. Like no one's death, I wouldn't give it to Cersei. She shouldn't just die. So the only thing that would suffice is if the person she loves most kills her, and that's Jaime. That's the only thing I will accept as a watcher.
So let's go back to the episode. Why do you think she gave it up to Euron? Is there something I'm missing here?
She's trying to get a baby. She's not pregnant.
So that's really what it is.
That's what I think. Let me disclaimer. That's me. Like I'm like
Maybe.
like that she's not pregnant, and that's why she choked up when he said baby. Like because she's not pregnant. Like she's trying to have a baby.
Huh.
Like, but
Cersei. God damn.
you know, like that's what I think, Sha. So
All right. So one of the other biggest reveals I think of this, like I said, R plus L is equal to J is the biggest. And for those that don't know, R plus L is equal to J is Rhaegar plus Lyanna is equal to Jon Snow. Because it turns out Jon Snow is really a Targaryen, and he is potentially the
heir to the throne.
heir to the throne, the only true heir to the throne. And how does that work, right? If you're a bastard, you're not really an heir.
But he's not.
He's not a bastard. But Rhaegar divorced his wife, and then married. So it was legally married. She was legally married. So what does that make Dany, the aunt, right? But then does Dany still have a title to the throne?
Only if
Jon
Jon
says he doesn't want
is
it.
not alive, or if he doesn't.
So I think the way it's being set up now is that eventually Dany's gonna know, and then they're gonna be pit against each other, and they're gonna have to make a choice. And that's where the theory of Azor Ahai comes in. But we're not gonna get into that. If you guys really are really interested, like we're big GOT geeks here. If you guys are really interested, just Google the theory, the TPWP theory, the Prince That Was Promised theory. It's deep, and it could be potentially the biggest revelation of the entire series. It's huge, but it's the theory. It goes in so many directions. You really don't know. Even what you're reading, you don't know. You really don't know, because it could be anybody. It could be Danny and John. It could be another couple.
Yeah. But I think it's tied to Danny.
Yeah, it has to be tied to Danny.
I know, maybe not John, but Danny.
Yeah,
for sure.
She's got to go.
So
She going to.
one of the other big reveals, I think the second biggest reveal for me in the entire series, outside of R plus L is equal to J, was the blonde hair. Remember from season 1?
Blonde hair.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The fact that Baratheons don't have.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was also kind of, and I think that was like the biggest reveal at the end of season 1. And again, I feel like they don't do this. They have a way of always tying everything back. I think that's going to be somehow relevant in this season. I don't know how.
Because John's hair is brown.
I don't know.
Maybe it's the Stark genes, just stronger. Stronger than
the Targaryen.
Perhaps.
So maybe that's what will prevail too, and John will kill Daenerys.
Perhaps.
he would choose. And you know how I was talking about, like, even like the prophecies, like she has had, like Dany, like when she was in Koth or whatever.
Yeah.
And how they told her like she was going to be betrayed. Like she's had a few betrayals. Like, like initially I was thinking, okay, it was going to be Tyrion betraying her, but now thinking about it, it might actually be John betraying her for his, because she's supposed to be betrayed for love, betrayed for family,
and you know
for
John
money. Like
chooses family over love. You saw it with the Wildling girl.
He does.
Yeah.
He chose. Oh yeah.
He chose his family.
Because the Night's Watch was his family.
He's very honorable.
He is honorable guy. That's why I call myself the Young Wolf. For those that don't know, for those of you that are wondering.
Yeah, it's actually really annoying that he calls himself that.
Because I am the Young Wolf.
No.
The third biggest reveal for me was Hodor.
That was good and sad.
It was good. Yeah. It was sad, but it ties to the Night King theory. Are you familiar with the Night King theory?
What's the theory?
The theory is that the Night King is Bran.
I don't understand how that makes sense.
It's very confusing, but for those, let me just explain it to you guys. So, the theory is that this whole entire world of Westeros, right, has been happening over and over and over again. That's one of the theories out there, and that Bran has been trying to go back and fix and correct stuff. That he became this chosen Raven, right? And he's able to go back in the past and at least try to like tweak stuff. And that was why the whole thing Hodor came about, because it showed that he had the power to go back in the past and tweak stuff. Like what happened with the Hodor stuff, right? He went back and then he told the guy to hold the door, and that was how they ended up with Hodor. But then he could hear him in the past. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I mean, we know he can, but I just don't understand how.
I don't understand it.
Being the Night King,
but it all ties to the Night King theory that somehow Bran is the same person that we see as one of the Night Kings.
Oh, you know the Night King is supposed to be a Stark.
Yes.
He was supposed to be a Stark.
They've done a lot of analysis online. They've looked at even the robe that they're wearing. They say it's very similar to the one that Bran wore at one point. They also said that the fact that he touched him, that they're connected somehow.
Yeah, there was that touch.
I don't know what it is,
I don't even know.
But Bran knows, and Bran can't talk. And so what do you guys think about the ending of the episode?
I'm just hoping that Bran is not petty. I mean, I want Jaime to die, but not by the Northerners. Like, I don't think. I'm hoping like he has some instruction for Jaime, like something that Jaime has to do.
Yes.
Bran isn't petty because he's not Bran.
Yeah, he's not, and he keeps telling us that I'm not your brother. I'm not who you think I am.
Yeah,
he's just.
But it's just like I'm like, okay, like why are you waiting? Why'd you wait so long? Hopefully that's what it is. Like, I just need to tell Jaime something, and it's not like I'm trying to like, oh, hey, you pushed me off the window like years back, and we're gonna get you now. Like,
yeah,
no. But that might be another way Dany might show her allegiance to the Northerners. Like if they try him like they did Littlefinger, she might. And then he killed her father. Like. I don't know. I didn't remember that.
He did. He did.
Like he killed the Mad King.
They've let a lot of people kind of repent for their sins. And I think they will let Jamie too, because look at all the people that are with them now. The Hound.
That's true.
Even Tyrion, that's a Lannister, he's there. Reek, he's coming.
Yeah, they should keep that same energy for Reek when he gets there, because he needs to go.
They will let a lot of people.
Redemption. That's good. No, he's a Northerner. He should have known better. Fine, we expect
he's redeemed himself.
But Reek has suffered
really, what did he
more
do
than Ramsay. He's suffered the most out of anybody in that show.
I mean, he has.
As much as I want to hate him, Reek has suffered, and he did those things out of foolishness. It was an emotional action. He was wrong. But he should be forgiven at this point.
But those are the 3 big reveals that I feel like will somehow play into this season. I don't know if you guys have any additional ones. Any additional predictions that you guys have? I think what's going to happen with Jamie is because it looked like he was in a council. And I feel like maybe he's going to ask for, you know how they say, I want someone to fight for my honor. What they call that thing? You know what I'm talking about?
I know, yeah. What Tyrion did.
Yeah, what Tyrion did. And then maybe in some weird way, Tyrion would be the one to save him or something. I don't know, but...
I don't think he can. I don't know.
No, I just think that...
It's too... 5 episodes left. There's no time for all this.
5 episodes.
John's going to be on his... Damn. We all need to be on the same side. The enemy.
And that might be where John and Danny might differ. Yeah. It might be that they decide that they want to get rid of him. Danny says, I'm going to get rid of him. And John is like, no, let's not. And then it becomes... Because she's trying to show allegiance to the Northerners. They just need to let go of some stuff. They're just they hold on to everything.
They do
too much.
They do.
Geez Louise.
They do.
And I don't know.
We've said a lot here. There were a lot of things I also want to touch on, but I know Onyeko, you have to go shortly. I hope you can come back maybe in a few weeks. I want us to do a midway point, maybe after episode 3 or 4, and then at the end, after the whole series is done,
because we know somebody's dying this Sunday.
Someone's got to die. No one died in that last episode.
Yeah.
Someone's got to die.
I think they made that bald guy or the Onion King, one of them. They can start with those ones and then.
Really, Varys?
Yeah.
You want him gone?
I mean, I don't want, but if they're killing people, let's start with those.
Yeah. Anyway, Onyeko, thanks for coming, man. That was awesome. Wale,
you can come back on.
Yeah. You want to take us out with before we go, please, you guys don't forget to subscribe, like Instagram. We are smiling_sufferer. On Twitter, we're at smilingpod. On Facebook, just search for Smiling Sufferer. We're on YouTube also, search for Smiling Sufferer. Subscribe, comment, please share. And thank you very much download. Thank you very much for listening. Wale, take us out. Well, what do we listen to?
Man, I should have played the theme song of Game of Thrones. But nah, the copyright will shut us down. This is a song called Good Boy by Black Bones featuring Budge and CK.
I'm a very different kind of somebody. I'm not someone that is into all those kind of sweet boys, all those kind of nonsense things. I like a God-fearing man, a man that fears God. Now this is me, this is the kind of person I am.